I had always prided myself on the predictability of my routine, a quiet existence of early mornings, steady work, and evenings that dissolved into the gentle hum of solitude. Yet everything changed the day I received an email that defied explanation. It was a typical Thursday afternoon, the kind when the hum of a well-ordered life is all you expect, when my inbox usually brimmed with work memos, bills, and the occasional newsletter. But among those familiar messages, one subject line stood out, glowing like a beacon: "Your escape awaits, luxury confirmed, intimate dinner tonight." I stared at it, unsure if it was a misdirected ad or something far more enigmatic. The sender was unknown, the text brief yet laced with urgency and promise. At first, I assumed it was a glitch or an elaborate marketing ploy. After all, I never had the inclination for extravagant getaways or covert rendezvous. I was content with the predictable cadence of my daily life. But as I opened the message, I discovered details that could not be dismissed as mere error. The email confirmed a reservation for a luxury suite at the renowned St. Helena Grand, a hotel I had admired from afar but never even considered entering, and also detailed a reservation for an intimate, gourmet dinner at an exclusive restaurant named Le Mirage. Every detail, from the check-in time to the mention of a mysterious lover awaiting my arrival, felt precise and intentional. My heart began to race as I reread the message several times. The email was artfully composed in elegant fonts on a dark background, with no signature or identifying information. It simply stated, "Ms. Langley, your escape has been confirmed. Tonight at 10 p.m., check into the St. Helena Grand's Luxe Suite. At midnight, join us for an intimate dinner at Le Mirage. Await further instructions from your secret admirer." I could feel a stirring inside me, an unfamiliar blend of excitement, trepidation, and a whisper of hope. Was this truly meant for me? Had someone, somewhere, decided that I was ready for an experience that transcended the mundane? I tried to recall if I had, in a moment of impulsiveness, booked a luxury stay. Nothing came to mind. Every memory of my recent days was filled with the routine of spreadsheets, emails, and the steady predictability of a life that rarely deviated from the norm. Yet here was an invitation to break free, a call to abandon caution and step into a realm of indulgence, mystery, and, perhaps, romance. I sat down at my cluttered desk, the familiar scent of coffee and old paper filling the air, and reread the email. My mind raced through a myriad of possibilities. Could this be an anonymous admirer who had been watching from afar? Perhaps an ex-lover rekindling old flames, or even a secret admirer I had never known existed. The text offered no clues other than the promise of a secret admirer. I found myself both unnerved and inexplicably drawn to the idea. It was as if the email had unlocked a part of me I had long kept hidden, a yearning for adventure, for passion, for a life lived with unbridled intensity. Without another moment's hesitation, I decided to follow the call. I cleared my schedule for the evening, cancelled my usual plans for a quiet dinner at home, and began preparing for a night that promised to be extraordinary. I rummaged through my closet and selected an outfit that felt both refined and daring, a sleek, deep burgundy dress that hugged my curves, paired with a tailored black blazer. I carefully applied a touch of makeup, a bold red lip and softly defined eyes, and as I looked in the mirror, I saw a reflection of someone new, someone ready to embrace the unknown. I whispered to myself, "Tonight, I choose to be fearless," and felt the weight of my former hesitations begin to lift. Before leaving my apartment, I double-checked my phone. The email was still there, glowing with the promise of luxury and intimacy. I saved a screenshot of it as if to etch the memory in digital permanence, a memento of the moment when everything shifted. With a deep breath, I locked my door and stepped out into the cool evening air, my pulse quickening with every step. I hailed a rideshare, and as the sleek, black car pulled up, I couldn't help but feel that I was being transported into another realm. The driver greeted me politely, and I set the destination to the St. Helena Grand. The ride was quiet and introspective. I watched as familiar city streets gave way to upscale neighborhoods, the lights reflecting off rain-glazed pavements like fragments of a secret world waiting to be discovered. I glanced at my phone occasionally, my heart fluttering each time I recalled the words of the email. Eventually, we arrived at the hotel, a towering edifice of modern luxury with an understated elegance that belied the grandeur within. The building's exterior was a harmonious blend of reflective glass and meticulously crafted stone, its windows glowing softly in the evening light. I paid the fare, thanked the driver, and stepped out onto the pavement. The cool breeze was refreshing, carrying with it the distant sounds of a city that seemed to hum with hidden possibilities. Entering the hotel's grand lobby was like stepping into a different universe. The space was vast yet intimate, a sanctuary of marble, crystal chandeliers, and plush seating that invited quiet conversation. I approached the reception desk, where a well-dressed attendant greeted me with a subtle smile. "Good evening, Ms. Langley," he said, his tone both formal and reassuring. I was startled that he knew my name. My personal details had been seamlessly woven into this secret arrangement, adding yet another layer of enigma to the evening. He quickly confirmed my reservation for the Lux Suite on the 12th floor and handed me a sleek keycard. "Your suite is ready, and we have arranged for a discreet transfer to your dinner destination at Le Mirage later tonight," he informed me, his voice calm and measured. I thanked him and made my way to the elevator, each step echoing my mounting anticipation. The elevator ride was silent, save for the soft hum of its machinery, and as I ascended, I felt the tension of the day dissolve into a sense of wonder. When the doors opened on the 12th floor, I stepped into a corridor adorned with modern art and warm lighting. I found Suite 1207 at the far end, a door bearing my reservation in elegant silver script. I swiped the keycard and the door opened with a quiet chime, revealing a suite that was nothing short of breathtaking. The room was spacious and luxuriously appointed, its decor a blend of contemporary design and timeless comfort. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered a panoramic view of the glittering cityscape below, and the ambient lighting cast a soft, inviting glow over plush furnishings and tasteful accents. Every detail had been curated to evoke a sense of refined indulgence, from the carefully arranged fresh flowers on the table to the subtle, ambient music playing in the background. I paused for a moment, taking it all in, before placing my bag on a minimalist console table and moving to explore the space. In the quiet solitude of the suite, I found a small envelope tucked neatly on the sideboard. Opening it, I discovered a handwritten note, its elegant script carrying the promise of the night. "Welcome, dear one. Your secret journey begins tonight with a gourmet dinner at Le Mirage. At midnight, an intimate rendezvous awaits with your mysterious admirer. Embrace the experience." The note stirred something deep within me, a mixture of curiosity and a bold desire to break free from the chains of my former life. I knew that tonight was not simply a diversion, it was an opportunity to experience life's hidden luxuries and to perhaps even awaken a passion that had long been dormant. After a brief moment of quiet reflection, I set about freshening up and preparing for the next phase of the night. I changed into a fresh outfit that I had set aside, a stylish ensemble that spoke of understated elegance and a hint of daring allure, a form-fitting black dress with subtle shimmer, paired with silver accessories that caught the light with every movement. I applied my makeup with careful precision, enhancing my features until I felt as though I were ready to face whatever the night would unveil. At exactly 9:45 p.m., I left the suite and made my way back to the hotel lobby, where a discreet rideshare had been arranged to take me to Le Mirage. The transfer was smooth and silent, the car's interior a cocoon of soft music and reflective moments as we traversed the illuminated city streets. I felt a growing sense of anticipation with every passing minute, my mind swirling with thoughts of the secret dinner and the unknown admirer whose message had ignited this entire adventure. When the car finally pulled up in front of Le Mirage, I was struck by its understated grandeur. The building, nestled on a quiet side street in a sophisticated district, exuded an air of exclusivity and timeless charm. A subtle sign above the door, elegantly inscribed in cursive, announced the name Le Mirage. I stepped out of the car, feeling as though I were entering a world that existed on the periphery of reality, a realm of refined decadence and whispered promises. Inside, the restaurant was a symphony of elegance and intimacy. Soft, ambient lighting bathed the room in a warm glow, and the gentle strains of a live piano filled the air with a soothing melody. The decor was an artful blend of modern minimalism and classic touches, crisp white tablecloths, gleaming silverware, and carefully arranged floral centerpieces that hinted at both romance and mystery. I was led by a discreet hostess to a reserved table in a secluded corner, where a single red rose in a slender vase stood as a silent symbol of passion and secrecy. I took my seat and tried to steady my racing heart as I waited for the evening to unfold. The first course arrived, a delicate amuse-bouche of truffle-infused mushroom tartlet that was as much a work of art as it was a burst of flavor. I savored each bite, letting the rich, earthy taste awaken my senses and kindle a hope that tonight might indeed be the beginning of something transformative. Between courses, I found myself glancing around the restaurant, wondering about the identity of the mysterious admirer who had set this elaborate plan into motion. Every subtle detail, from the soft flicker of candlelight to the hushed conversations of nearby diners, seemed laden with hidden meaning. I recalled the message on my phone, the words "Your mysterious admirer awaits" echoing in my mind like a promise. Was this the work of a secret lover, someone who had long admired me from afar? Or was it simply a beautifully orchestrated moment meant to remind me that life was far richer than I had ever allowed myself to believe? As the gourmet dinner continued, a velvety lobster bisque, a perfectly seared sea bass drizzled with a citrus reduction, and a main course that blended flavors in unexpected, delightful ways, I began to relax into the experience. I chatted lightly with the guests at the adjacent table, their stories and laughter merging with my own reflections. It was as if the restaurant had become a temporary sanctuary, a space where the mundane world was left behind and every moment was infused with the promise of romance and revelation. Finally, just as the clock neared midnight, a discreet notification buzzed on my phone once more. Your mysterious admirer awaits at the posh hotel bar. Please proceed. My heart leapt. I left the table with a mixture of reluctance and eagerness and stepped out into the cool night. Hailing another rideshare, I set the destination for the hotel bar, a secluded lounge tucked away on an upper floor of the St. Helena Grand, where exclusivity met intimate ambience. The ride back was a reflective journey, the city lights streaming past as if in silent encouragement. When I arrived at the hotel bar, I was immediately enveloped in an atmosphere of subdued glamour. The bar was a refined space with dark, polished wood, ambient lighting that softened every edge, and the low murmur of quiet conversations mingling with the gentle clink of fine glassware. I found a comfortable seat at the far end of the bar, where I ordered a cocktail recommended by the attentive bartender, a signature mix that blended hints of citrus and spice with a whisper of something exotic. I scanned the room, every glance laden with the hope of catching sight of my unknown admirer. Minutes later, a man emerged from the shadows, a figure who moved with an air of quiet confidence and grace. His eyes, dark and contemplative, locked onto mine, and as he approached, I felt the world narrow to just the two of us. "Good evening," he said softly, his voice both calm and intriguing. "I'm Adrian." There was no preamble, no rush, just a gentle introduction that carried the weight of unspoken promises. We exchanged a tentative smile, and I sensed in his gaze an empathy, a recognition of the secret journeys that had led us here. Over the course of the next hour, we talked quietly. Adrian told me of his own journey, a tale of rediscovery and the courage to break free from a life that had once seemed too secure, too familiar. He shared memories of nights spent in hidden corners of the city, of secret escapes that had allowed him to rediscover a spark he thought had long been extinguished. His words, tender and sincere, resonated deeply with me. I found myself opening up about my own experiences, the sense of being trapped in a cycle of predictable days, the quiet yearning for something more vibrant and real. Every word exchanged was a delicate thread weaving our stories together, forming a tapestry of shared vulnerability and quiet hope. As the night waned and the soft jazz playing in the background grew even more intimate, Adrian and I lingered at the bar, reluctant to let the magic of the evening dissipate. He spoke of the beauty of unexpected encounters, of how sometimes a single, cryptic message can be the catalyst for a transformation that changes the course of one's life. In those soft, vulnerable moments, I realized that the secret escape I had unwittingly embraced was more than just an adventure. It was a gateway to a deeper understanding of who I was and who I could become if I dared to follow the call of the unknown. When it was finally time to part ways, Adrian pressed a small, folded card into my hand, a subtle token of our meeting and a promise that this was only the beginning. "Until we meet again," he murmured, his voice laden with quiet assurance, "remember that the extraordinary is always just a secret away." With that, he slipped away into the shadows of the posh hotel bar, leaving me with a heart full of wonder and a mind alight with possibilities. I returned to my suite that early morning, the cool night air still clinging to my skin as I rode in a quiet rideshare back to the St. Helena Grand. Once in the sanctuary of my room, I sat by the expansive window that offered a panoramic view of the sleeping city below. I opened my journal and began to write feverishly, determined to capture every detail of the night, the thrill of the mysterious email, the luxurious escape that had taken me to a world of gourmet dinners and covert rendezvous, and the tender connection with Adrian that had awakened a long-dormant part of my soul. In the following days, I found that the echoes of that night continued to reverberate through my life. The memory of that cryptic email and the luxurious experiences it had unveiled became a quiet revolution within me, a challenge to the routine that had defined me for so long. Every time I glanced at my phone or opened my digital calendar, I was reminded of the extraordinary potential hidden within everyday moments. I began to savor the small acts of spontaneity, a spontaneous coffee with a friend, a stroll through a new part of the city, even the way the morning light broke over the skyline, as if each were a tiny invitation to live more fully. The transformation was gradual yet profound. I started to seek out beauty in the mundane, to allow myself to be vulnerable in ways I had long resisted. I shared my experiences with close friends, though always with an air of mystery, hinting at secret nights that had led me to rediscover parts of myself I thought were lost. Their curiosity and quiet encouragement emboldened me further, and soon I found that I was no longer content with the safety of routine. I craved the thrill of the unknown. Then, one crisp afternoon, as I was reviewing my messages, I received another encrypted email, a follow-up invitation that read, "The journey continues. More secrets await you tonight." There was no further explanation, only a promise that this was not a one-time anomaly but the beginning of a series of transformative encounters. My heart raced as I read it, the possibilities unfolding like the pages of a long-anticipated novel. I knew that I had to continue down this path, that every secret rendezvous, every intimate encounter, was a step toward reclaiming a life filled with passion, spontaneity, and genuine connection. That evening, with the confidence born of transformation and a renewed hunger for life, I prepared once again to step into the unknown. I chose a different outfit, a flowing, emerald green gown that whispered of new beginnings, and once again embraced the promise of the secret invitation. I headed out into the cool night, my mind alive with the thrill of anticipation and the certainty that, whatever awaited me, it would continue to reshape the contours of my existence. As I rode through the city's glistening streets, I reflected on the journey that had begun with a single, puzzling email alert, a message that had exposed secret luxury bookings and intimate dinners with a mysterious lover. I realized that I had crossed a threshold into a world where every moment held the potential for transformation, where every hidden invitation was a key to unlocking the true essence of life. The experiences of that night had not only freed me from the confines of a predictable routine, but they had also illuminated the possibility that passion, mystery, and romance could be found even in the most unexpected places. Now, as I sit here in the soft glow of early dawn, my journal brimming with the ink of revelations, I know that my journey is far from over. Every secret message, every cryptic invitation, is a reminder that life's most extraordinary chapters are written in the spaces between certainty and risk. I embrace the unknown with an open heart, ready to follow each new lead wherever it may take me, confident that the extraordinary will always be just a secret away. With a heart alight with hope and a soul forever transformed by the magic of hidden encounters, I close my eyes, letting the memory of last night's clandestine escape guide me into a future rich with passion, possibility, and the endless beauty of living boldly. I awoke to a muted sunrise filtering through the sheer curtains of my suite, each ray a soft promise that the extraordinary night was not a fleeting dream but the beginning of something far greater. The memory of that mysterious text alert, and the cascading chain of events it had unleashed, still pulsed vividly within me. As I lay in bed, I recalled the thrill of the check-in at the Regency Oasis, the sumptuous escape that had whisked me away from the mundane, and the intimate, decadent dinner at La Nuit, where each course was more than just nourishment. It was art, it was emotion, it was an invitation to live fully. Sitting up slowly, I reached for my journal, the trusted confidant that had borne witness to so many of my quiet revelations, and began to write. Every word I inscribed seemed to echo the hidden cadence of last night, the elegant script of that unsigned note, the soft chime of the digital receipt, the hushed murmur of laughter amid candlelight, and, above all, the tender look in Gabriel's eyes as he introduced himself with quiet confidence at the posh hotel bar. I wrote until my hand ached, capturing not only the sequence of events but the raw emotions and the fragile hope that had taken root within me. In that moment, I realized that the secret escape had not simply been an interruption in my ordinary life. It had been the catalyst for an awakening, a stirring of a passion that I had long kept subdued by the weight of routine. The following day, as I strolled through the hotel's serene lobby, I felt an almost imperceptible shift in my perspective. The once familiar world outside my window now glimmered with untapped possibility. Even the quiet clatter of footsteps in the marble-floored corridors or the gentle hum of conversation at the cafe in the lobby carried a secret vibrancy. I noticed details I had previously overlooked, the soft interplay of light on polished surfaces, the subtle smiles of strangers passing by, each a silent reminder that beauty was everywhere, if only one had the courage to see it. That morning, while sitting by the floor-to-ceiling windows that offered a panoramic view of the awakening city, I reflected on how dramatically my life had changed in the span of a single night. My days had once been defined by a strict adherence to routine, a predictable cycle of work and solitude that left little room for wonder. But last night, ignited by that enigmatic text, I had dared to cross an invisible threshold. I had embraced the unknown, surrendered to a meticulously planned yet utterly unexpected adventure, and discovered a side of myself that reveled in the thrill of spontaneity. Throughout the day, my mind wandered back to every detail of that remarkable evening. I recalled the opulent grandeur of the Regency Oasis, the sense of serene luxury that greeted me as I checked in, the hushed, reverent tone of the attendant who addressed me by my surname, and the exquisite quiet of my suite on the 12th floor. I remembered the anticipation that had built as I prepared for dinner at La Nuit, the careful selection of an outfit that balanced elegance with audacity, the gentle rush of nerves as I left my room, and the hushed reverence of the restaurant's interior, where every element, from the delicately arranged table settings to the soft strains of a live piano, seemed designed to transform the ordinary into the sublime. Then there was the moment when my phone buzzed with that final message, "Your secret admirer awaits at the posh hotel bar." I could still feel the flutter of my heart as I stepped into that refined space, where ambient lighting and smooth jazz provided a backdrop for whispered conversations and the clinking of fine crystal. I recalled how, amid that atmosphere of sophisticated intimacy, Gabriel had approached me with a gentle greeting that felt both familiar and profoundly new. His voice had been soft and measured, his eyes deep and reflective, a mirror reflecting my own hidden desires. As we talked, his words revealed a vulnerability that resonated with my inner truth, and each shared smile, each gentle touch, wove a connection that defied the boundaries of our brief encounter. After that night, a quiet transformation took root within me. The next few days unfolded with an almost surreal vibrancy. I found myself glancing at my phone with an eager anticipation, each new notification a potential gateway to another secret adventure. I began to notice the extraordinary in the everyday, a warm smile exchanged with a stranger, the way the morning sun cast dancing shadows on a busy street, even the soft murmur of wind in a city park became imbued with a secret language of possibility. I began to understand that life was not merely to be endured in the humdrum of routine but to be lived as a tapestry of hidden moments, waiting to be discovered if only I was brave enough to look. One crisp afternoon, while sitting by a sunlit window in the hotel's cozy cafe, I received an encrypted message. Its subject line was simple yet carried the promise of more mystery: "Your journey is far from over. Tonight, join us at the Celestial Terrace. Another secret awaits." The message was unsigned, yet its tone was as compelling as that first one had been. I felt a thrill surge through me, another invitation, another step deeper into a world where every secret rendezvous was a chance to rediscover the beauty and fire within my soul. With a steady resolve that had been forged in the crucible of my newfound experiences, I decided to accept. I spent the remainder of the afternoon preparing for yet another nocturnal escapade. This time, I chose an outfit that spoke of both quiet sophistication and bold intention, a flowing, sapphire gown that shimmered subtly with each movement, paired with delicate silver jewelry that caught the light with every gesture. As I styled my hair and applied a final touch of makeup, I saw in the mirror not just a reflection, but a promise to remain open to the beauty of the unknown, to embrace vulnerability as strength, and to live a life replete with passion and authenticity. At 7:30 p.m., I left the comfort of my suite and hailed a rideshare once more. The car glided through the city's transformed streets, the neon lights mingling with the deepening dusk, creating a tapestry of shifting colors and secret shadows. I watched as the familiar landscape gradually gave way to an upscale district known for its refined establishments. My heart pounded with anticipation as I neared the destination indicated in the message, the Celestial Terrace, a rooftop oasis atop a sleek, modern building. When the car pulled up, I stepped out into the cool night air, feeling the gentle caress of the breeze and the soft murmur of distant traffic. The building before me was a study in modern elegance, a structure of glass and steel, its facade reflecting the scattered lights of the city like fragments of a hidden dream. I entered through a discreet side door and took a short elevator ride to the top floor, where I emerged onto the Celestial Terrace. The terrace was breathtaking, a spacious, open-air lounge adorned with plush seating, subtle ambient lighting, and a panoramic view of the city below. The stars twinkled overhead in silent harmony with the city's glow, and the gentle sound of a live acoustic guitarist provided a soothing soundtrack. I felt as though I had stepped into another realm, a place where time slowed, and the everyday melted away into an atmosphere of quiet magic. I found a table near the edge, where I could see both the sprawling urban landscape and the vast, star-studded sky beyond. As I settled in, I recalled all the secret encounters of the past few nights, the covert escape, the decadent dinner, and the tender exchange with Gabriel, and felt an overwhelming gratitude for the transformation they had ignited in me. I sipped on a delicate cocktail, its taste a blend of citrus and spice that mirrored the complex emotions swirling within me. The Celestial Terrace was a haven for those who, like me, were drawn to the hidden, the mysterious, and the beautiful. The room was filled with quiet conversation and gentle laughter, a collective murmur of souls unafraid to live in the delicate space between vulnerability and strength. I found myself engaging with a few other guests, sharing small stories of our own journeys, a tapestry of experiences that range from quiet heartbreak to moments of ecstatic revelation. In one conversation, I met a woman named Lydia, whose soft, reflective eyes spoke of lost dreams and the quiet determination to find beauty even in the most unexpected places. We talked about the power of secret escapes, the thrill of embracing the unknown, and the importance of listening to the whispers of our hearts. Lydia's words resonated deeply, reinforcing my belief that these clandestine nights were not mere fleeting escapades but essential chapters in a larger story of transformation. As the evening wore on, the soft glow of the terrace's lanterns and the gentle strumming of the guitarist created an almost hypnotic atmosphere. I allowed myself to be swept away by the beauty of the moment, the sense of liberation that came from stepping out of the confines of routine, the excitement of not knowing what might happen next, and the quiet, persistent hope that each secret invitation was a call to embrace life's fullness. In that space, I felt a renewed connection to the self I had long forgotten, a self that craved passion, spontaneity, and the extraordinary. By the time the soft strains of music began to fade and the crowd slowly dispersed, I felt both a bittersweet longing and a resolute sense of purpose. I exchanged heartfelt goodbyes with Lydia and a few others, their faces illuminated by the soft light of the terrace, each farewell a silent promise that our paths might cross again in this vast, mysterious world. With the cool night air wrapping around me like a tender embrace, I hailed a rideshare to return to the Regency Oasis, my mind abuzz with the revelations of the evening. During the ride back, I gazed out at the city, a sprawling mosaic of light and shadow that now seemed imbued with secret possibility. Every flicker of neon, every shimmer on rain-soaked pavement, reminded me that the extraordinary was never far away if I only dared to seek it. I recalled the transformative power of that secret escape, the way that one cryptic text had unraveled the monotonous fabric of my everyday life and replaced it with threads of passion, mystery, and bold new beginnings. Back in my suite, I sank into the plush comfort of my favorite armchair by the window, where I once again opened my journal. My pen danced across the pages as I recounted the night's events in painstaking detail: the luxurious escape, the sumptuous dinner at La Nuit, the tender conversation with Gabriel, and the quiet, reflective beauty of the celestial terrace. Every word was a declaration of the profound shift that had taken place within me, a transformation that allowed me to see life not as a series of dull routines, but as a tapestry of hidden moments waiting to be lived with unapologetic passion. In the days that followed, I carried the memory of that night like a cherished secret. I found that the world had grown richer, each ordinary moment imbued with the potential for hidden magic. The gentle glow of street lamps, the soft murmur of the city, the warm smiles of strangers, all of these became subtle reminders that life was not meant to be lived passively, but embraced with courage and fervor. I began to notice new details in my surroundings: the delicate play of light on dewy leaves, the unexpected warmth of a kind word, and the quiet thrill of discovering something beautiful in the most unanticipated places. I understood then that the cryptic text alert which had confirmed my secret escape was not an isolated anomaly. It was the spark that ignited a journey of self-discovery and transformation. Each secret luxury booking, every intimate dinner with a mysterious lover, was a stepping stone toward reclaiming parts of my soul that had long been confined by fear and routine. I realized that I was now a wanderer in a world that offered endless hidden treasures, and that I had the courage to pursue them. Now, as I sit by my window watching the city slowly awaken beneath the soft hues of early morning, I feel an unyielding sense of hope. My journal is filled with the vibrant echoes of those clandestine nights, a testament to the power of embracing the unknown. I know that my journey is far from over, it has only just begun. Every secret invitation, every cryptic message, carries within it the promise of another adventure, another chance to rediscover the beauty and passion that reside within me. And so, with a heart transformed and eyes wide open to the endless possibilities of the world, I resolve to continue this journey. I will remain ever watchful for those discreet digital messages, for the hidden reminders that life sometimes sends when we least expect it. For I have learned that the extraordinary is not found in the safe and predictable, but in the bold, mysterious moments when we dare to step into the light of our truest selves. With each new day, I embrace the uncertainty, the thrill, and the beauty of living boldly. The secret escape that began with a puzzling email and evolved into nights of sumptuous dinners and covert rendezvous has taught me that the hidden corners of the world are filled with magic, and that it is only when we let go of our fears that we truly come alive. Now, as I close my journal and prepare for the day ahead, I carry with me the lingering warmth of that unforgettable night, a night when an anonymous invitation transformed my world and set me on a path of endless discovery. I know that wherever the next secret message leads me, I will follow with an open heart, ready to live every moment as the extraordinary adventure it is.